Hello, good evening, and welcome to another Forgotten North podcast. Good evening, Andy.
Good evening, Scott.
Just the two of us again today, gentlemen and ladies. Just thought we'd share a bit of a brief one to have a little chat. Almost a week on. Is it even a week on?
No, you're
5 days.
5 days since the end.
Wishing me life away. 5 days since the event, and just want to do a bit of a summary review about how we felt Maze GT went. Some of the pros, some of the cons, and chat a little bit about what we've got in the works.
Yep, definitely. Look at the movers and the shakers.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little dabble on what we've got coming in the future. Although we can't say too much because
Not too much, but yeah, we can give some ideas. But so I think first of all, I thought, like, not to sort of blow anyone's, I thought the weekend went exceptionally well, and I thought the event itself was very smooth and seemed to really be played in the right way, so to speak.
Certainly. Now, I can only speak for the 2 hours or so that I came and visited because unfortunately I'd work last weekend and couldn't get out of it, so couldn't come and help. I didn't really have much input into the rules pack and how this one was developed because I hadn't joined the Forgotten North team at that point.
All future issues are definitely your fault now, though.
Yes, I take full accountability for any slope this goes down in the future. But I did come and help set up. And
I thought the venue was great. To be fair,
it's an amazing venue. I mean, this was part of the feedback I give yous the time the first one when I played. It's got everything you want. It absolutely has. It's got space.
To give the venue their dues as well. Like last time, we give them some quite sort of pertinent feedback about sort of the bar.
Yes.
And to give the hotel, like, again, all their dues, this time we had the bar in the actual event space was open. And we had our own private bar from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. when they opened their main bar, which I thought was a lot smoother than last time and was really, really good.
Yeah, it was a huge irritation having to go and find a barman, even if you just wanted a quick Pepsi because you were open. So yeah, I noticed that the bar was open with its little window into the room.
That was great on the afternoon. We always had direct access to a bar, which was excellent. But also chatting with a few people led to a bit of a slippery slope. And obviously, because it was open from 11, like the temptation is you might as well have a beer at 11 o'clock in the morning and continue to drink all day.
Yeah, and one very strange facet of the Wargamer is they'll live with bad terrain, they'll live with bad tables, but they will not live with no bar.
Honestly, it's a fact, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Like bars, whether you're like actually drinking or not, whether you just want access to like soft drinks and coffee, like we cannot wargame without access to beverages.
But as I was alluding to earlier, the venue has everything. You've got free parking there. And as I discovered, if you drive around the back, there's a lot more.
Yeah, it's a surprising amount of parking. Well, I say surprising. There's a lot of parking at the venue, to be fair, isn't there?
Yeah. The room is air-conned, so it's a nice temperature. We had lovely space, and we've actually decided, I believe, that we can get more tables in. So the next one will probably be bigger.
Yeah, 100%. I think we're very keen. Like, we're all keen to make sure that we keep that 360 access to the table, which I think, and the side table, because I think that's a real big part of what we offer, and one of the biggest bits of positive feedback we get at both events now. But that room can definitely take more people.
Yeah, we kind of measured it out, and there's definitely space for more. And there's a side room.
Yeah, exactly. There's a definite increase in capacity. So when we do release tickets for the next forthcoming event, which is going to be the 15th and 16th of November, there will be bigger capacity. Final numbers to be confirmed. However, we'll be going up to a minimum a minimum of 48, and
Possibly more.
we could go significantly north of that if we if we've got the terrain and table to do so.
Yeah, and obviously that's the big part. Will we get demand? Have we got the scenery? So there's a few things that we're, it's floating about.
Yeah,
We will do our final reckoning and decide
yeah,
later on.
absolutely. And I think the other thing I would just throw out right straight away is, and I said it at the sort of summary at the event, but a huge thank you to everyone who attended, and even also the people who couldn't attend who were on the reserves list. Couldn't run anything remotely like these events, obviously, without people wanting to attend and wanting to come back and play again and do it in such good spirits. Like it was really fantastic.
Oh, it goes without saying that I was devastated when I found out I couldn't play, because especially since I have this weekend off, that was just like
Timed it worse, could you?
Oh yeah, well, it couldn't have been timed worse. So I was livid. I don't know if he's ever got them death threats I sent in the
yeah.
but
It's the only reason we invited you to the team. To be honest, I was worried if we didn't, I'd just be killed.
Yeah. Ninjas coming around your house.
Yeah. It's like a real worry for us, to be honest.
All right then. So, great event. Are we going to talk about the placings?
Yeah. So placings. Well, we obviously on our preview, we threw some names out there that we thought might be.
We did indeed, Scott.
The big winners, and I want to say, like, not to be arrogant to ourselves, and it definitely wasn't a fisherman, but the person we genuinely thought would be one of the biggest potential winners was the actual winner.
Yes, I mean, I didn't want to go back and watch it back because it was a long old video, and I've got a face for radio.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we both nailed it on the head with who was going to win.
Yeah. So for not to spoiler alerts for anyone, but the winner was the one and only Charlie Hanley with his vampire counts.
He's smiling assassin does it again.
Honestly, he's just the smiliest guy in Warhammer, and he smiles at you whilst you take your models off the table.
Yeah. And then we had Mr. Toll in second. He didn't have to play me this time, obviously, so that gave him a better position.
Yeah, I felt for Steve because I've been in his position before. In the fact
just the last weekend, wasn't it?
It was just a couple of weekends ago, which there will be a review video coming out for that at some point. But yeah, he went 5 games, he won all 5 games, and came second at a GT. And
650 points over 5 games it's not a lot of points.
Nah.
It's basically losing maybe 2 units over the course of 5 games.
Yeah.
Your dragon maybe once.
Yeah, like he won all 5 games and he came second with 73 points out of a possible 100. To put it into context, Charlie's 5 wins gave him 90 out of a maximum possible of 100 on the 20-0 system, which is really quite something.
Oh, it's exceptional. Dropping 2 points per game is...
Yeah. Oh. I mean, and most of those points were quote-unquote dropped in Game 5 when he had a very cagey game with young Jack Toll on his Bretonians.
Yeah, I mean, Jack's one to watch for the future, I think.
Yeah, he knows his stuff and he's a really good player.
Yeah.
And he really does know Bretonians very, very well.
Well, except the game I watched him when he forgot to pray. But we'll not mention that.
Bless him. That was hilarious.
You still
there was a number of Brett-offs over the weekend, which I always find really interesting. It's essentially he who kills the Duke first wins.
Did we get any of the ones that I wanted to see, the Bretts versus the Royal Air Forces?
No, I don't think we did. I'd have to go back through each pairing, but I'm not 100% certain.
Because that was one
thing that did come out when I was looking through the final rankings, and we will share the final rankings. They'll be attached, I don't know, somewhere down here in the comments page when this goes live on YouTube. there was another two people who didn't lose a game over the weekend. Mr. Dowie After Dark, Richie himself, won 3 games, drew 2, and finished third with the Air Force, which was quite something.
Yep.
And our very own Shane Baxter didn't lose a game all weekend with his only single lady Hiles.
Yeah, I mean, in our private chat that the ex-NWA members have, he was telling us how this was a balanced and fair army.
I mean that's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, he's exceptional though. He painted that in a week.
And I don't actually have it in this slide deck, but that Frostfire Phoenix he painted was quite something.
Yeah, I mean, it's as big as what's that Chaos Dragon called again? The Archeon.
The Archeon one, yeah, it's freaking huge. But then
yeah,
we also had what was I going to say? That we had Tom with his Beastman only lost his first game, and then went like win, big win. Interesting. John Dale was right up there until sort of the last couple of games. He had some really tricky games. A lot of swingy matches. And then sort of Mr. Brewis, our returning champion, day one went very, very well for him, 50 points out of a possible 60. And then unfortunately he came across Charlie in game 4 and then another tough game in game 5 as well. So finished finished 14th. I mean, is not a bad result out of 40 players.
It's not, no. I mean, it's just our top third, isn't it? Well, just out the top third. But I think, yes, going back to when we've done the list review, that top 10, I definitely think we were in agreement that a lot of that top 10 would be up high.
Yeah. I mean, that's also because a lot of, I suppose, right, in a 40-man GT, there's a lot of people. There's still a lot of new people joining the hobby, which is amazing to see. There was at least one person there who had only had one game of Old World before the event, which was fantastic. Like, it's really nice that we're still seeing growth in the hobby.
Yeah.
And like, unlike the competitive end of, say, 40k, for example, new players are really welcomed into the hobby and like supported by experience, and even the more competitive players still help people when they're learning, which I think is just a really nice thing to say about the hobby that we're in.
Yeah. And as I said, we had a good spread of armies. There was some real Warhammer armies there. Okay, they might have finished a bit further down the lists.
Oh, I mean,
we loved having the Troll Horde there.
That was cool, to be fair. And I will give a special shout out to Gary, who finished last, having came all the way down from the Inverness sort of area, although I believe Gary's actually further away than Inverness. But he actually bought a real fluffy Warhammer army, as we talked about in the lists, and played against monsters all weekend. Monsters. But goddamn, he never had anything other than a smile. And for anyone who hasn't attended and is listening to this, whoever comes bottom at a Forgotten North event, like, we don't give an award or anything like that, but we do give a free ticket for the next event. So
it's the best prize because it's worth the most.
Honestly, I think I just think it's fine to give someone a wooden spoon. It's nice. It's nice to sort of just that they get reward, like they get acknowledged. But I think personally, it says a lot to say, like, look, you came last. We want you to come, keep playing the game. Like, he has a free ticket. Like, I hope you had a really good time despite that. And actually, I didn't see him without a smile on his face all weekend, despite the fact that every time I walked near him, his dice were the worst dice thing I've ever seen in the world ever.
I mean, it was nice that we got a good showing from the local clubs. The guys from Gathering Point Games came along. The guys from Durham Raiders came along. So
yeah, it was really nice to see the we had so many players from near and far. Really good to see the local guys. Like you see the Gathering Point guys, the
Newcastle Knights.
Newcastle Knights, the Warlords, some of the guys, the Rothbury crew, which I'm sure that's not their official name, but it's what I like to call them that. And then we had obviously people from further Inverness, from Essex, from Norwich, Hereford. Like, it was such a lovely event, and actually it was a really, really good weekend. The Saturday night meal was excellent, and hilariously, the person who won Best Sportsman looked like he was actually dead on the Sunday morning because he got carried to bed on the Saturday night.
You can't win the event, go for best sport, and that's what
Honestly,
I say.
and well, it was. I mean, to be fair, it was joint, and we had to go tiebreaker, which was amazing. Like, both of them got 5 out of 5 best favorite opponent votes, which I just think is amazing. Both Gary and Todd. What I will throw out there about the Saturday night, Liam Howie is an actual monster. Like, I don't know how he was so fresh on the Sunday morning. Like, when I went to bed, him and Todd were drinking pints with vodka shots with them. Like, and he looked right as rain the next day. He just a monster, just animal.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing I could do these days.
Too old for that nonsense.
Yeah, about 5 pints and I'm done for.
Tell you what, whilst we're so now we're into the event, shall we segue into some of the screenshots I did manage to get of best painted, etc.?
Of course, Scott, because you know I love a good segue.
Well, that's how we roll. So we had a couple of Bretts in there, to be honest, but this one was
lovely,
really lovely. Like, there's a lot of the picture doesn't really do it as much justice I think it could do. I think this was the one with the hand painted.
Yeah.
Detail on the edges. It was genuinely lovely.
It's one of them classic Bretonias, the red and blue schemes. I thought some of them were transfers, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. He had some transfers on there, I believe, but like some of them are also just hand painted on. We had a look at it over the weekend. It was quite remarkable.
But it's nice to see, like, when people proper mesh the transfers on and maybe do a little bit of highlighting on top of them. But yeah, a lovely Bretonian army. Definitely one I would stick in my bag and take home.
Oh yeah, 100% now. We then had our second Bretonian army. Again,
yes. The lots of Bowman one.
Seem to help them like lead to people who can paint, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, this guy's Brass Rodney's Pegasus Knights, all different sizes. I like that because they are a mare to rank up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, very classic. Also, like this, it's got a unit of Grails in, and they're all painted differently. And I think that's the unit to paint differently.
Yes, because they're all representing different houses or chateaus.
But another genuinely really nice Bretonian army. Best painter was a slog to decide, to be honest. We then had this one again. Picture doesn't really do it justice. This is Richie's.
Yeah, it's very subtle and dark. He's gone for the
really subtle and dark, and the pink really stands out. And like, I think during the event, John was taking the mick out of him about just essentially spraying and dry brushing pink, which Richie didn't bite at. But actually, it's a really nicely put together army, and it all looks like an army, which I think always helps.
Yeah, I mean, the Highland miniatures, and it suffers from, I don't know what they were doing when they designed the gyrocopters rotors, but mine have been off about 5 times. So I understand why he's gone for the balloons. Yeah, balloons.
I know there is. I don't think it's the next one, but there is another Dwarf Air Force which is also fantastic to paint. No, the next one's the Dark Elves.
Yeah, these were nice.
Yeah, again, classic, which I really like.
Did he have time to paint our objective markers that he got? Sorry, the vortex markers, or did he bring his own?
No, I think he took them home and painted them overnight.
What a man!
What a hero!
Yeah.
Hats off, Ian. That is remarkable. The pillars of fire, the little pillar of fire ones were very popular, unsurprisingly.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm dying to get my hands on some.
Yeah. Did you grab some when we were there?
No,
I'll drop some off there too. But again, for anyone about the event, the 3D templates were one of the freebie options that we supplied for everyone at the event, which we're keen to do. We'll keep doing freebie options at every event that we do have.
yeah, that's it. You buy a ticket, you get something free.
Yeah, I just think it's nice that everyone gets something, even if you don't podium.
And the larger one can be used as a skull cap.
Yes, good. It also, I saw someone using it as essentially a dice bucket, which I
Right.
thought was quite cool as well. Then what can only be described as a real dwarf army.
Yeah, keeping it real.
This was also lovely.
It's just a shame there's not more of this in the game, honestly. It's like, I love armies like this.
Oh, this was just so classic. Like when we were looking at it and talking about best paint, like it's just a really classic dwarf army that you just see. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. This kind of army with such an amazing paint job makes me smile.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this right here, right now. I don't know whose this is, but I bet you he was a 7th and 6th edition player. Five
This
by fours.
what? Is this Robin? No, Robin was the Brett from earlier.
One other thing I find that differentiates people between 6th and 7th and
No, this
8th
was Robin's, I think.
is the size, like how they deploy the units and the sizes.
Oh, it's just a really nice army, isn't it? It just this kind of classic army just makes us smile. It is really, really well done, and it's tough, I think, with dwarfs because it's tough to make them stand out, isn't it?
Well, yes and no. I mean, they do lend themselves to really good paint jobs.
Yes, yeah. But what I mean by that is they don't have
They're
like a
not,
big dragon or something that really pops to the eye.
yeah, they're not big.
But it was really, really well done. So then the next dwarf one we have is the next Air Force. Funny if it was on the opposite side of the table to that other dwarf. This is this is Aaron's, and this had 19 gyrocopters.
Yeah, I was talking about the paint because they're all really well painted. But he says he was at the end of his life doing these, and the
Oh,
first one's got good treatment. After that, they just got patched out.
to be fair to him though, he still put he's hand painted like runes and everything around them. He's done a cracking job, and it looks spectacular when it's all together.
It's not the kind of army I'd like to sit down against, in honesty. But
No, no. I mean, it makes you feel a little bit sick. It's like playing Ages. I mean, not that I want to diss it, so actually, hats off to anyone who enjoys it. But
it's beautiful.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to just show this one because, come on, 19 gyrocopters. The first of one of two nomadic wars that we had. This one's David's.
Classic wolf chariots. I love them.
And I just love his wizard on a wolf at the front there with its like the wizard and hat type thing. He's just so cool.
The first game of Warhammer I ever played after. So you know how we all play it when we're a teenager. Then you stop and then you come back into it at some point. The first game of Warhammer I ever played coming back, my opponent used that style of wolf chariot. And
nice.
They've always kind of had a place in my heart because they were the first thing I smashed up.
I think the other thing is with this, it's a very classic paint job again.
Yeah, goblin green bases.
It's got goblin green bases that have been flocked, and obviously a bit more than just flocking. Like I don't want to sound disrespectful there, but it's just really nicely done.
What do you mean, just flock it? That was the world of Warhammer for years.
It was. I mean, it was always as good as I got with basing. To be fair, I'm barely past it now. To be honest, we then had
the Empire Army. I love
this Empire Army, which again, I just like. I mean, it's a fully mounted army plus 3 cannons.
Well, you know what I've been working on recently, don't you?
I do, and your background kind of gives it away now as well.
Yeah, and this guy practically had the same army that I've kind of been working on. Yeah, mine's a little bit different, but it had the 10. Oh no, he's got 12 White Wolf. I have 10 White Wolf, 6 of the normal knights, 3 cannons, wizard on a peg. But this is the guy who brought the wrong Griffin, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll look a bit of that. But yeah, cool. I watched him play Jack,
He's a lovely guy as well, his own.
Yeah, but absolutely Diamond Army. I like this.
It's really nice, and I really like the basin. I think the basin is just a really solid effort on it.
Yeah, it's cohesive. As I say, that the good thing is, even though he's got like knights of a different,
it all looks like an army, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like an army.
We then go on to our second Orkwa, and this one's Liam's completely 3D printed one.
Yeah, coming at you like Cleopatra, these bad boys.
Honest, and I don't know if this photo does them justice, but both of the flying Wervins are actually flying pigs.
And that big block of red boar boys is exceptionally good looking with its winged lancer.
Yeah. To be honest, this still photo does not do this army justice at all. Like, the shields are incredible. The detail on the big red ones in the middle is fantastic.
Yeah, obviously to show these properly, you need to get in there with a good macro camera and take unit shots rather than. But yeah, this is the best people are getting. Sorry.
Oh, it's amazing though, isn't it? Yeah. Flying pigs though. Can you go wrong with flying pigs? We then had. This was exceptional, to be honest.
So I played this army at the Team England training day.
You did, didn't you?
And I probably spent more time asking Jack how he done his bases than playing.
Honestly, this army by Jack is outrageously good.
And he hasn't got any spawns on this one, has he?
No, he hasn't on this one.
He's got Chaos spawns that are mammoths. They look great as well.
Oh, it's amazing. And he's Chaos Lord. Again, not to be a spoiler, but the Chaos Lord on a dragon won our best individual model. Every single scale is individually highlighted. It's not dry brushed. It's individually highlighted.
Yeah, he's put some time and effort into it.
I'm sure he was telling us that you put like 40 hours or something just into that model.
Ooh.
I might even do that a disservice. It might even be longer, but it is truly remarkable. And again, the photo just doesn't do it justice at all.
God, in my head, I've painted armies in 40 hours in my models.
Well, indeed, yes. I don't know, because I'm a poor painter myself. I can get a tabletop stand that's as good as it's going to get. Whereas I can really appreciate good painters. Like, this is remarkable.
Don't put yourself down, Scott. That's Stan and Andy's job.
That's why I'll can them off on the recordings. Yeah. And then we have Tom and his
Moose,
the Moose of Ooze, which is the Beastman army that we
voted
for as best painted army. And again, the photo doesn't do it justice. It's so grim dark. It's so John Blanche-esque Beastman. Like, it really needs to be seen in person and looked at in detail to appreciate it. It is genuinely fantastic.
Yeah, it's one of them where you might walk past it at first glance and think, "Oh, there's a brown army," but then when you go back and you start to have a look and you see like the swamp effect, the browns and stuff like that, it's a well worked army.
Yeah, that's what we ended up sort of doing it for us. It was that it's the theme. Don't appreciate it till you look at it properly.
Yeah.
And again, you can't really see it on this picture, but there's the wizard in the center there on the hill has got wings coming out of him. It's just a remarkable army, to be honest. It really was. But like the best army and the best painted model rewards were just so well fought. It was a real treat seeing so many nicely painted armies.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been to some tournaments over the years, and the standard of painting at this one was exceptional.
It really was, wasn't it?
Just armies everywhere that I would love to play against, love to have in my collection.
Yeah.
So, very much well done to everyone who put an army out there.
And then, well, with that in mind, here are our non-podium winners.
Yes, so Tom, best army with the Beastman Bray Herds. Best individual model went to Jack with his Lord of Chaos. And favourite opponent was Todd, the Empire player, Faith and Steel.
The guy was Todd is hilarious. But like I say, Gary also got 5 out of 5 favourite opponents.
Yeah.
Because Todd finished higher in the rankings, that's our sort of tiebreaker on the off chance that anyone does get 5 out of 5. And there was a few people with fours as well. Like actually, there was some fantastically played games there.
This photograph on the right hand side, right? Does it look like he's got a really little hand?
It does look like he's got a tiny little hand at the bottom, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But oh man, all of them really well deserved their reward. Their awards was outrageous. And
then we have the winners,
and then we have the actual podium positions. Like, please, I don't know what's going on with my face in some of those pictures. So
I like that you've tried to make yourself look thinner in the middle one, and Stephen by stretching the image wrong.
That's me and my eldest son in the middle there.
Yeah, and
me and young Tool.
Is that at England 1, 2, 3?
It was at England 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I mean,
was at England 1, 2, 3. I mean, what has been dubbed by some is that it was a case of the podium of the people who didn't play Charlie.
Right. If you dodged Charlie, you got on the podium.
Charlie was there, and then anybody he played wasn't, because he just murdered them like an absolute monster. Like, look at him there on the end, the smiliest man in Warhammer, whilst he just ruins people's lives. He takes souls. He's a soul harvester. He's a monster.
Yeah.
He's such a good player.
I really want to see a game between Charlie with his vamps and Keith Wilkinson with his vamps.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's going to happen at Durham. I don't know if Charlie signed up for that.
It's also 2,500 points. I think skews it a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't be a true. But that's a match I'd like to see at some point.
But so congratulations to our 3 podium, our 3 people podium. Like, it was a very hard fought tournament, and actually the level of competition was phenomenal.
So, feedback, Scott. We didn't get a lot this time.
We didn't get a lot this time, so I'm taking relatively no news as good news to a point.
Yes, I mean,
please, it's only been 5 days, so if anyone who did attend the event does have some feedback they'd like to share with us, like, please reach out via like YouTube, Facebook, email, like whatever. We'd love to hear it.
So I think there was only 1 or 2 little bits and bobs. Mm-hmm. The first point, we're going to make the woods a little bigger.
Yeah, obviously we had a lot more. We had more terrain to build for this event, so we didn't increase the size of the tree bases. However, for the next event, all the tree bases will be on the bigger footprint.
A couple inches bigger.
Yeah, like some people would have played on some of those on this one, because all the new trees were on that size, but we hadn't managed to get the old ones across onto that size.
Yeah. And people love the bar being open.
People did love the bar being open. That will be in place going forward for certain. One thing I'd love more feedback on generally is, did people find the scenarios impactful or not? Because looking at it when I was there on the day, Watchtower seemed to just confuse everyone, which I suppose is just Watchtower's been confusing people since it first came into since it's first become a scenario in like 6th edition. So maybe we need to rethink Watchtower in there, and we go to more of a proximity control the center one, just to make it fair or easier, because it did seem to cause some concern.
Yeah, I mean, the scenarios themselves are one of the things we're going to be sitting down and chatting about for the next event. See which ones stay, which ones go. See how we deal with like controlling the objective, because I think a lot of people aren't happy that dragons can just kill everything and then control the objective.
Yeah, well, that'll definitely change in the next one. It's just that we hadn't precluded it from this one, and I think obviously since we released the first pack, GW then did release that mini mission scenario that they put out there, and they did change their score and armies to core. So maybe that's the way we go as well. If that's what GW hinting at, I mean,
we'll follow GW's lead for a bit.
Eventually pay out.
Yeah, we'll follow GW's lead to a degree, but I still think we do what's best for the competitive game, and I don't think GW always do that.
I mean, hopefully this match play guide that we've heard rumoured for a long time comes out sooner rather than later, because that would be brilliant for everyone.
Yep. I mean, I'm very much hoping that Beastmen and Wood Elves are out fully, and we have all of the armies for the next one. That
Oh,
would be
yeah.
great
I
to
mean,
have all the arcane journals out.
I'm a little surprised that since that Adepticon teaser that we haven't had pre-orders for something, to
FNG
be
GT,
honest.
why fell asleep?
I
I think he's went
just
into
I don't know,
hibernation or something.
I don't know if it's something to do with, like, I don't know, tariffs, whether it's something to do with
Donald
production
Trump.
issues. Who
Brilliant.
knows? But hopefully we get some more sooner rather than later, because the sooner every army is out, obviously, the better. And it's not until everyone's out that I feel personally we can start enforcing fully painted armies, because it's not fair on people who are slow painters and want one of the armies that isn't even out yet, but they want the GW armies.
I still think, to a degree, you can almost, kind of guess what's coming out. Maybe the odd character or something like that. So,
Yeah, but if you're a person who wants GW armies, like, you're stuck until they get released, aren't you?
I mean, me and you probably differ a bit here. One of the things I love about tournaments, or tournaments of old before this new version came out, was going and seeing all the armies fully painted, fully
Oh,
based.
I don't disagree. I don't play with unpainted models. That's why I've not used my troll horde yet, because I've not
Yeah,
painted them. I personally don't play with unpainted models. I'd rather not play against them. However, like, I'm also conscious that, like, a lot of people don't like painting,
yeah.
and it's a real struggle for them. And they're also might not have the they might have only just got back into the hobby as well, which I think, when the game's still new and not even all the armies are out yet, I think it's a different conversation, certainly in the future, once all armies are out.
So, is the game still new? It's, we're probably about 15 months into it now.
Yeah,
And editions normally have a what, 4 year lifespan?
yeah. I mean, I still think it's new. One, it's a new game effectively. Like, it's not the new edition of an existing game. We had that such a long break, and judging by the fact that we've still got new players coming to events for their first ever events, I would say it's still a new game. Personally,
Yeah, and I agree to a degree, as I say.
I mean, it's a new old game. They're not like old hats that you and I have been around, like, since the dawn of time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely gutted that I sold off all my armies at the beginning of 8th. I had probably about 4 or 5 armies sitting around the house.
Yeah.
Got rid of them all so that I could basically start playing War Machine and other games. But I tried to hunt them back down. Couldn't find anyone but my High Elves. And I found the guy who had my High Elves, but he'd sell them.
Oh.
And the only reason I found out about them is because he messaged us to see if I had any more armies to sell.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose and that's leads to and we love a tangent, don't we? But pull it back to the final thoughts of the event. I think I don't think we've got too much more to say about the whole thing, other than to sort of reiterate it was an amazing weekend, but we would still love more feedback if anyone has any. We will be looking to get our next pack and the next tickets out by the end of this month. Is our aim for the November event, which is on the 15th and 16th of November, in the same venue. But if we do get any feedback, we will absolutely take that into account, because, like you mentioned with the tree bases, for example, and this time we had 6 bits of terrain on the board versus last time with 5, because feedback was they'd like more terrain.
Yep.
Fundamentally, we want to give people what they want, because we're just running events so people can enjoy the hobby. So if we can facilitate that, and people feel strongly about certain things, then we'd love to get the feedback.
Definitely, because if we do what you guys want and make a better tournament, more people want to come to it. We can size it up. We've got, as we said earlier, room to expand. So we want to bring the biggest Northern tournament to Newcastle.
Yeah.
We want to be running the prime event in the northeast, not just the northeast, actually, in the north of England.
But yeah, like we want. Yeah, I mean, forget that. We set out there with the aim to provide people with the best possible tournament based on what we would love at a tournament that we set out. We attend.
Yeah, one that we want to play in.
Yeah, like I want to be sat there essentially saying we provide one of the best old world tournaments in the country, and I believe we do, and I believe this weekend showed that. But we always want to make it better for the people who want to attend.
Yeah, I mean, when you sit in your laurels and you just kind of say, right, we've done good, that's it, we'll just rinse, repeat. That's when you're not doing your best anymore.
Yeah, 100%. And like we've still got room to grow. We want to expand, like prizes and stuff like that. We've had to invest like a lot into this to get it up and running. And when we sort of start clawing that back, we want to just everything we're just going to go into the event, into the tournament. We want to see better prizes for people, and we want to keep working on that. If that's what people care about. If people don't really care about it and they care about other things, like let us know. We'll do what we can to make it better for everyone who wants to attend.
Yeah, but as Scott says, if there is feedback out there, get it into us, because if we don't get it, we just think that we've done well. And if there are genuine things that you would like us to see addressed,
Oh
make sure we know
yeah,
them.
that's it. Like, and if there's different scenarios that you want to see, if you thought the comp, some of the FAQs are a bit wonky, if you thought
Shane should be banned.
Shane should be banned. I mean, I think everyone thinks that, really.
Yeah. I
Um,
love picking on Shane.
yeah, no, bless him. Just let us know, because we want to keep making it better. And if you reach out to us, like, don't think it'll fall on deaf ears, because it won't. But I would sort of finish by saying, like, what a amazing weekend. I know obviously you could only sort of help set up and then drop in a little bit on Saturday. But it was an absolute pleasure to run it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I had a fantastic weekend, and all the players were very, very positive and very sort of engaging. What a good time they had. So, like, again, I can only say thank you to everyone who did attend, and hopefully I see most of those people back at our next event, which will be wonderful.
Yeah, obviously the next one, I'm not too sure what my part in it's going to be, whether I get to play or whether I get the TO, so some of you guys can play. But that's why I've joined up, to basically help out. But I am hoping that the next one just steps on again,
Yeah.
like this one did from the last one. I hope we can just get a
first event was good. This one was better, I think, definitely.
yeah. And by the next one, it will be
Better again.
Yeah, the pinnacle. We're hoping that by the next one, it's one of the best tournaments in the country. That's it. Because there are more springing up. There's some tournaments being resurrected. I know the Toy Soldier events I used to go to was a 5th and 6th edition player are coming back.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Brill. I know sort of Mark and Keith are running one across in Stockport.
That's the same one.
Oh, is that the Toy Soldier one?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Used to be run out of Preston.
I'm holding on. I'm hoping the guys who used to run sort of Stirling return to the hobby as well, because I'd like to get up to Stirling for an event. But
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think it's wonderful that Old World is in such a good place, personally. I think the hobby's an amazing place. It's lovely to see people rejoining, and it's lovely to see sort of old heads coming back as well.
Yeah. As again, love to see the Sheffield Slaughter get back up.
Yeah.
That was always a fun favourite. The Northwest Grand Tournament over Chorley Way. That JTY used to have a bit of impact on running.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, like there's some in the last 3 weeks. There's been 3 big events in the UK. There's been Oz and Forgotten North and Newcastle. There's been the Warhammer World event that I went to, and that same weekend there was the Black Country GT that Sam and the Dudley boys ran, which by all accounts, was a fantastic event as well. I mean, that's 2 40-man events and a 52-man event in the space of 2 weeks, which is just remarkable.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I remember when I first started tournament playing Warhammer, you basically had the GWGT, which was 2 heats and a final, and you only had to go to the second heat if you didn't qualify in the first one. Then you had the Warhammer Play Society GT, and there wasn't a lot of anything else kicking around. Like, we
Yeah.
are absolutely spoiled these days.
Oh, big time. And like, long may that continue. Like, hats off to the community for embracing it and really making like, the whole thing just is wonderful. But I think we're now starting to segue into waffling more about General Warhammer, which, as much as you and I absolutely love doing that, I think we've come to a relative end about the chat about the event.
Yes, we put a nail in it. It's we've covered it
So
off.
we'll call that a night and just say a final thank you to all attendees and all future attendees. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, and hope to see you all at the next one.
Good night.